smiling on the way to an election.
Prime Minister, is this election a big miscalculation?
But rewind 30 months, turn back the clock. His predecessor took a gamble that looked safe, but lost, costing her majority, opening the way to 2.5 years of uncertainty, which will now take another election to try and undo. Downing Street keen for a pre-Christmas election, hoping it will give them the majority they need to deliver Brexit and more. But will it?
I think there's 3 things that we should be watching out for in the polls. The first is the Leave vote dividing again. For example, voters moving on the Leave side from the Conservatives over to the Brexit party. The second thing is the Remain vote that's currently split, uniting behind one party, either the Labour or the Liberal Democrats. And I think the third thing to watch out for is even if that Remain vote doesn't unite on a national level, it could unite on different constituency levels. So in a constituency that Labour's more likely to win, voters move behind the Labour Party and vice versa for the Lib Dems.
Polls provide clues, not answers. These latest YouGov results show why number 10 wants to go to the country soon, a 13-point Tory lead over Labour. Breaking it down, the Remain vote is split. Few support the Tories, but it's neck and neck between the Lib Dems and Labour. Then, amongst Leavers, lots of support for the Tories, but a quarter still saying they'll vote Brexit party. But this race isn't a single national picture. In Scotland, the SNP in a clear lead with the Conservatives and Labour quite behind. While in Wales, Tories set to overtake Labour in an electoral earthquake, but does it translate into seats?
Seat by seat, tactical voting, just one reason why this election is so hard to predict. And don't forget, in 2015, the pollsters got it wrong. And then pundits and political parties got it wrong in 2017. And then there's Christmas to contend with, and that just looks like it's going to annoy the voters. So however obvious this election looks like on paper, nobody's taking anything for granted.
Someone who's worked on Tory polling for the last Prime Minister, setting out what Boris Johnson would need to do to achieve his goal.
So the key group that the Conservatives need to win is in the North and the Midlands. They're working class voters, they're older, they're more female than male, 60% female, 40% male, and these are the sort of key voters that voted Labour in 2017. They thought about voting Conservative in 2017, but they didn't quite make it over the line.
The talk from Labour is about advancing on the enemy, but the party must also mount a defensive battle in every direction, not only from the Tories but also Lib Dems and the Brexit party. Take Leave voting Don Valley in South Yorkshire, currently held by Labour.
Probably vote Labour, like I usually do, but to be honest, I think it's just a mess up with all of them, none of them doing what we've asked them to do, to leave.
I would have voted for Labour because I am a Labour person. I voted for Labour last time and they've let me down, so I will not vote for Labour again.
This is an unusual election, the first December poll since 1923. That means the parties will campaign differently. Postal votes will be key, and some candidates have even been boasting they'll spend less time on the doorstep than normal because of the dark. An election looks all but certain, everything else is not. Sam Coates, Sky News.